82 and 59 roll with the complimentary plays here on the video report with 5 big selections for this Saturday card, including the big Pac-12 showdown between two 5-0 teams, Washington and Oregon. That's all coming up. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, General Manager of DeMarcosports.com, and this of course is going to be your Saturday college football video report. Not only have I done well with the complimentary plays, the best of the worst, I always say the plays that I considered releasing as my best bet for one reason or another, they were just slightly flawed. But as you know, I've been on a red-hot roll with the premium plays as well. And Thursday, I should say, cashed in once again with another NFL best bet, top-rated 15-dime release, number 17 out of 23 with Kansas City the night prior. Another 15-dime best bet in college football with New Mexico State, the 3.5-point choice, beating Sam Houston State by 14. Well, today I'm going for football winner number 17 out of 23 overall, but it's going to be a raise the bar release. Yes. The second highest rated play I've had this entire college football season. It's going to be a 20-dime play, and I'm a perfect 2-0 with them this season. And guys, it's going to be my bounce back blowout. A team coming off a loss last Saturday, I think they are going to cover, not just win, but cover by at least a touchdown at home today. And you are going to get it as the half-price play of the day once more, just like Kansas City on Thursday night, simply by using coupon code HALF. Because once again, I believe that you don't have to spend big money to make big money. After all, this is gambling. We do it because we get a vicarious thrill and we like to make money. And again, you don't have to spend big money to make big money. So again, it's available now over at DeMarcosports.com using coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. I know it's not exactly original, but it's easy to remember. Am I not right? So let's get to it here with your complimentary plays. But before I do, let me just remind you, I've opened up the comment section. And again, this is a gambling community. I think it's kind of cool for all of you out there to leave your selections because not only do I find it interesting to see what you like, and I will do my best to leave my comments about your selections, whether I agree with them or if I'm nonplussed, but to let everybody else know across the country what you all are thinking about and what your best bets are too, because you're not watching this for any other reason than you're a gambler. If you're watching it because you like whether or not I did a good dye job on my goatee using Just for Men, medium light brown, number 30, FYI, then you've got some issues here, and we really have to discuss them offline. But seriously, leave them down there in the comment section. And may I remind you, since I don't do these video reports every single day, if you want to always be alerted to when they're available, just hit that little subscribe button down there in the corner. You know where it's at. With that being said, let's get started. A couple of games that I don't have complimentary plays on, but I know you guys are going to be asking about them, so let me get them out here and get ahead of the train coming down the tracks. I think a lot of people are going to probably ask about Ohio State, minus 19 at Purdue. Seems damn cheap, right? Purdue sucks. Ohio State, doing well. The only thing here, this is a classic look-ahead situation for the Buckeyes who play at Penn State next week. That's why I am hesitant to release the Buckeyes today. Then there's that little game between, Notre Dame and USC in South Bend. The Trojans haven't won in South Bend since 2011. USC 5-16 ATS skid as a road dog. Now, a lot of those losses came long before Lincoln Riley came to Southern California. I think it's a difficult spot, though, here, because for the Irish, at least, 4th week in a row, they're taking on an unbeaten opponent, Ohio State, Duke, and Louisville. Of course, you know, they lost to Ohio State in devastating fashion, beat Duke in a comeback win, and then got upset by Louisville last week. This is a team that really needs a week off. You've got a Notre Dame team that's better defensively than USC because USC plays no defense. You've got a USC team that looked awful last week and survived because Caleb Williams is just a phenomenal player. It's a damn tough game to handicap. And as I always like to say, the marquee games are the ones with the sharpest lines, great to watch, but not necessarily great to bet. I couldn't tell you which way to go in this game. I want to watch it, but I really don't have an opinion, so don't ask me. I don't know. You want to leave your thoughts? Feel free, but not a game that I'm interested. By the way, the home team is 8-1 straight up and against the spread in the series since 2013, for what it's worth. Okay, with that being said, let's get to your complimentary plays, and I'm going to run these in the order that I really like these games. I think Maryland, minus 13.5, is dirt cheap today at home. Now, the Terrapins are coming off the loss at Ohio State last week, but remember, Maryland was up by a touchdown in the third quarter of that contest. Now, the Terrapins today are 13.5-point favorites at home against Illinois. What has Illinois done? I mean, they're only 2 wins this year. They beat Toledo and FAU. Reggie Love III, their starting running back, who, remember, was really like their third string running back at the start of the season, but he moved up the food chain because of all the other injuries. He's doubtful. Early in the week, he's now a game-time decision. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. The defense for Illinois has just collapsed this season. This Maryland team, their 5 wins this season have all come by margins of 18 points or more. Beat up Virginia 42-14, Charlotte 38-20. Illinois is coming off that loss to Nebraska last Friday. Their last road game, they got hammered at Purdue 44-19. By the way, the other team I was trying, the other FBS team that Maryland beat was Indiana 44-17. So they played well, and I don't think this is too big of a number for Maryland to rebound and win with by 13.5 points. So I like the Terrapins in this game. The next game I like, again, these are the order that I like them. I like Washington minus the 3 points at home. Michael Penix Jr. versus Oregon. Last year, remember, 408 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that was in Eugene. This is a Washington team that struggled last week. Yes, I know, or in their last game, but you got a battle with 2 5-0 teams. Did Washington struggle in that game in Tucson against Arizona where they escaped with the 31-24 win? Sure, but now they're back at home, and I think this is a damn good spot to take them here. Michael Penix has just been a tremendous quarterback playing at home. Last year at home, 65.6% completions, 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2,400 plus yards. This year at home, nearly 74% completions, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, nearly 1,200 yards for the Huskies, who are on a 7-1-1 ATS roll. And remember, last year when they went to Eugene and won 37-34, they snapped the Ducks' 23-game home winning streak. So a lot of people say, well, Oregon has got revenge. And yes, the Ducks certainly have revenge on their minds, but that doesn't mean they're going to get it. And when I look at Oregon on the road, sure, they beat Stanford prior to their bye week, but everybody beats Stanford, right? And their only other road game, they were lucky, damn lucky to win, let alone cover at Texas Tech 38-30, and we've seen how Texas Tech isn't anything to write home about, correct? Oregon's failed to cover 5 straight as a road dog. And interesting enough here, and this shows you how trends and stats can be twisted and turned better than a Donald Trump accountant. Had to get that in there. Oregon is on a 15-3 straight up and ATS series roll, but the outright winner has covered 22 straight in the series since 1999. And here's another twist down that scary highway. The favorite, though, is 18-4 against the spread in that stretch. So what can I tell you? I like Washington. And again, that line is 3. So you know what I'm going to tell you. Buy down that half point on the Huskies in that situation. Now, your next one. I am going to go with North Carolina minus 2.5. That game has dropped a full point actually, here Friday night, as I do this video report for you at 11:40 Eastern time. I don't care how Miami lost last week against Georgia Tech. I know it was a boneheaded play. I know they outplayed Georgia Tech throughout the game, but I also know that Tyler Van Dyke, who had gotten off to a strong start through the 3 interceptions, and that really put the Hurricanes into position to lose because of a boneheaded coach's decision. But, you know, I look at Miami, Florida, and I go, okay, they entered that game against Georgia Tech 4-0. But other than beating Texas A&M at home, who else did they beat? Miami of Ohio, Bethune-Cookman, and Temple? Big effing deal. North Carolina's won 4 in a row in the series. They won 27-24 in Coral Gables last year. They don't have a look-ahead game because they play Virginia At Georgia Tech and home against Duke. They're 5-0 straight up, 4-1 against the spread. Drake May's coming off maybe his best game of the season, 442 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that 41-24 win at Pittsburgh. Again, the line is 2.5. If it inches up to 3 or 3.5, I'm again buying down the half point on the Tar Heels. Next one is going to be Tennessee. Now, this is a tough game, I will admit to you, because Texas A&M has played well at times, but after the way the Aggies lost at home to Alabama last week, I've got to go with Tennessee in this spot. Now, granted, Max Johnson has played well since taking over the quarterback reins for Texas A&M, completing 61% of his passes, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And Joe Milton, well, he's not Hendon Hooker, I can say that much. I mean, 62% completions, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But the Aggies have lost 7 straight road games, including that game at Miami in Florida. Tennessee, 7-1 against the spread. Their last 8 at home. They're coming off a bye. Since losing at home to Florida, they've been in South Carolina 41-20 and Texas San Antonio, big deal, 45-14. But I like the price. I'm going to go with the Vols minus the 3, and again, buying down the half point on Tennessee. Next up, I'm going to go with James Madison. Now, this is the play that is probably the one that I, again, like the least today, but I like JMU in this one, minus the 6, looking for them to avenge last year's 45-38 road loss when they were a 13-point favorite on the highway. They're 1-8 straight up lifetime in this series against Georgia Southern, but they've only met a couple of times. This will be the second time at the FBS division level. I like that this is a team coming off a bye after beating South Alabama 31-23 at home 2 Saturdays ago, and that game was preceded by 3 straight road wins against Virginia, Troy, and Utah State. Just keep that in mind. And the other thing, when I always look at James Madison, is something you should keep in mind as well. This is a team that every game is their postseason bowl game because they're not eligible for the Sun Belt title. They're not eligible for a bowl bid because this is only their second season at the FBS level. I think it's I can't say that word. I think it's a BS rule, but hey, I don't make the rules, you know? When they die and make me God, I'll change the rules. What can I say? So listen to me, NCAA. Make Al DeMarco the chairman of the NCAA, and we'll have a whole new set of rules. But Georgia Southern, listen, good team, 4-1, only lost 35-14 at Wisconsin. I mean, they're coming off a bye, too, after beating the Citadel 34-0 a couple of Saturdays ago. But their other wins, they beat Coastal Carolina by 10, Ball State by 37, and UAB by 14. Again, big effing deal. I like James Madison minus 6 with that strong offense and a very underrated, tough defense, strong against the run, 9th in pressure rate, 6th in sacks per drop back. I think they're going to be able to win this one by 9 at home. So again, recapping today's plays and in order. Maryland number 1, close second, Washington. I mean, those two are my top plays. Next tier, North Carolina, then Tennessee, and at the bottom, James Madison. Again, Maryland, North, and Washington right there at the top. North Carolina, then Tennessee, then JMU. That'll do it. Wish you well, guys, and talk to you again tomorrow for the Sunday NFL Report.